All right, guys. All right, guys. Oh man, my stomach's messing with me. All right, guys. So market's bouncing up a little bit. Let me get everything ready here. Hold on one second. Remember, we got CPI data coming out this week on Thursday. We don't really have that much economic data today, though. Yeah, what's up, guys? All right. You see the Q on the left. You can see the spot on the right. Look at my portfolio from last week. All right. So I took profit on some of my trades. All right. Let me get the music playing. All right, there we go. What's up, Beach Bum? All right, so look at that target from last week. AMC pushing up a little bit. AMC over 5 this week. We'll see if that holds. What's up, DS Beach? Robert, Hans, Alyssa, Christian, Goodfellas, Shepard. What's up, guys? Uh, let's see if the market keeps, earnings. We have some big earnings this week. We don't really have anything big today, though. Like today's not really a busy day at all. Honestly, I thought about just not starting the stream until much later today, but I figured I'm gonna go ahead since it's Monday. Today we got Tyson Foods in about 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes actually. We got Tyson. We got Beatrice at 650. Uh, and I am holding a little bit of Tyson, but I've already scaled out of most of it. So I'm only holding now 20 shares of Tyson Foods. So like I've effectively scaled out of it in green. And so we got a little cushion heading into this earnings report. Now, my worst performing swing trade, and I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm sitting on 17 different stocks. My worst performing one is Honeywell, HON. Now, does anybody have any thoughts about Honeywell? Is there any risks I need to worry about if I decide to hold this one, a long period of time? I guess is the question. I know Honeywell is a company. I can look at uh, like their EPS graph here and see what they're looking like. And you can kind of see them as a company. They're pretty stable quarterly. At least this next one they're expecting for Honeywell. Honeywell doesn't drop their earnings until October. They are expecting they're expecting 223 EPS. It's gonna be slightly higher than their previous one, so they're pretty even on earnings. What's up, type? Now, do me a favor, bump that like button if you haven't yet. We appreciate it. See, man, it's surprising how many okay, like people reach out to me, right? These businesses reach out to me and they say, hey, you know, we want to sponsor your content. And it's like, okay, great. You know, I don't really need any sponsors. Like, I got 2 great sponsors. I don't really need any other ones. But like, these companies reach out, and it's like, it's one thing if they're like a well-known company that I know about. You know, it's another thing if these are like obscure wealth management, sketchy, like obscure wealth management companies that I've never actually heard about. Like, my guess is a lot of these guys are fake that are sending me this. Like, they're trying to get me on Telegram or WhatsApp so they could scam me, you know. What's up, Wesley? What's up, Christian? We're green in our trades today. Again, green on Microsoft today, green on Google today, green on Disney today. EMPH is green. Etsy is green. That's about it. Oh, also, yeah, green on Google, green on Microsoft, green on PayPal, green on Roblox, green on RTX. Yeah, CPI week should be fun for markets this week. We got CPI stuff coming out. All right, guys. Yeah, I haven't had coffee yet, man. I'm just waiting to hit my coffee, so bear with me, team. Again, I'm kind of looking at some stocks. We can look at the market right now. Dow Jones up about 0.3% today. S&P is up about 0.4%. Tech heavy NASDAQ 100 is up 0.6% today. Again, last week was a losing week. All right, so we do have some earnings today. It's not really any big earnings now. It's big earnings after the bell today. So after the bell today, we've got Palantir, Lucid, Chegg, RNG, Beyond Meat, Paramount. Now, these aren't like huge companies, but they're still relevant to a certain extent for markets. So, so we got some earnings this week. Today is the slowest day. Tomorrow we got some stuff. Like tomorrow morning we got like UPS, Eli Lilly, Datadog, Barrett Gold, Kronos, NVAX, and a bunch of other ones. And then tomorrow evening is the big ones. We got Rivian, AMC, Upstart, Supermicro, Twilio, and we're going to stream some of those as well. What do you guys think we get this week? Green or red week? Let me do a poll here. CPI inflation data on Thursday. That's the market in green this week. Vote on this poll. This is a good poll to have. It's a base poll. All right, vote on that poll. We got that poll live now. Red week, yeah. So if we look at inflation data expectations here, we don't have any economic data today, but if we look at inflation expectations this week, tomorrow we've got nothing too. Tomorrow's mostly earnings related. So Monday and Tuesday this week are slow, with Wednesday we don't really have anything as well. Wednesday we have Mexico CPI, we've got mortgage rates, nothing. So really the busy week this week comes on Thursday and Friday for economic data. Thursday we got CPI jobless claims. CPI is expected at 0.2%. Last time it showed 0.2% on the year. CPI is expected at 3.3%, which is a 0.3% uptick relative to last time. So that is what we got right now, is a slight increase in year-over-year inflation data, although the monthly data is supposed to stay the same at 0.2% versus 0.2% last time. So again, looking at the SPY today, the SPY is slightly green, although like we had a green day on Friday and then a big turnaround as well. So thoughts on Yell? I don't know much about Yell as a company. YELL. I heard a lot about this one the last couple weeks. Crazy run. I mean, this thing's gone from 43 cents all the way up to $5, but it hasn't really been able to break that since. It's at 250s now, so I think it's just another parabolic run on penny stocks that could hold. It might not. We don't know. Yeah, so it could hold, it might not. We don't know. We'll see. Anything else we can look at? I mean, there's the Q. Here's Tesla. Tesla down a little bit today too, or Tesla up a little bit today too, but not a huge green day. I mean, it's up a little bit, but it's not like a crazy big green day or anything like that. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm looking at some other stuff to try to find some good edge today. Hey, what's up, Pawn? It's TTOO. What is that? Canoe? What is TTOO? T2 Biosystems. Yeah, I don't know. Fubo earnings. Fubo dropped their earnings on Friday. And so Fubo came out as... I'll have to find it. All right, what did IEP, what did Carl Icahns' company end up doing? Phew. Back down, man. It did really bad, too. It's only at $20 a share. I just don't know if I trust it enough to buy that dip, though, you know? All right. Let's see. Yeah. Again, Apple at 182s. We're still looking at Tesla here, which is kind of way down there. BitConnect, BioNTech. Yeah, BioNTech drops their earnings today. They dropped the loss of 79 cents per share versus 75-cent estimate, so a little bit larger loss than expected for BioNTech on EPS at least. If it actually goes live and it's free, in terms of like what the report is, yeah, I'll probably stream it. If it goes live and it's like free, you know. But yeah, we don't really have any big stuff this week, man. In the first half of this week, the first half of this week's actually pretty slow. So like, we got Fed President Harker speaking tomorrow. Trade balance at 8:30. We got the trade balance at 8:30. Wholesale inventories at 10. Nothing really for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week, which is pretty weird relative to how they usually do it. Elon's got no chance right now. No chance. Number one, I'm gonna tell you this: there's no chance they actually do it. But if they do it, Elon's got no chance, and I'll explain why. Okay, Elon Musk only recently started training over the last couple months, right? Mark has been training for a year plus, like a long time, you know. So Mark Zuckerberg has been training for a long time, and in that regard, he knows his stuff. He could probably tap Elon out pretty quickly, is my guess. So if we had to bet, my money's on Mark. All right, again, here's the Q. So we got the Q right here on a one-day chart, or on a minute chart. You can kind of see big dips at the close Friday, followed by a small bounce up this morning so far. That's what we got. Yeah, well, CPI is expected to go up. So CPI is expected to show up at 0.2% is what CPI is expected to show up at 0.2%. Last time it came in at 0.2%. So I mean, it's on the month it's break even, but on the year it's expected to go up 0.3%. But yeah, IEP Carl Icahn stock just struggling. Yeah, Carl Icahn's company must have done poorly on earnings. Yeah, CPI. Again, we're watching CPI here. CPI week. It's very strange. Usually CPI comes out on like Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Thursday's just a different day to have it. I'm not used to having it on Thursday. Yeah, but Thursday this week we got CPI. Friday we have PPI. And then I think next week we got more stuff dropping. Let me see. So I think like next week we got CPI, PPI, and then next week we got some more stuff here. So next week we got nothing on Monday again. I guess earnings. Tuesday next week. Tuesday next week we got retail sales. Let me start that cycle over. Wednesday next week we got building permits, housing starts, data. And then Friday we got the Philly Fed index on Thursday, as well as jobless claims. And then Friday we got Euro CPI and some other stuff. Core CPI, yeah. So core CPI is expected. So core CPI is expected to show at 0.2%. Core CPI year over year is expected to go down a little bit, actually, relative to last time, though. You know, so core CPI is expected to reduce year over year from 4.7 to 4.8%, or from 4.8 to 4.7% year over year. Yeah, so core CPI is expected to show up at 0.2%. Base CPI is expected at 0.2%. So this is the second month in a row where the core CPI and the base CPI are both expected to show up at the same reading at 0.2% this month. Year over year, though, core CPI is expected to go down and base CPI is expected to go up. So, and then again, Friday, we got the producer price index. Expectations for that are 0.2%. 0.2%. On the regular core CPI, or core PPI is expected to show up at 0.1%, or at least it was 0.1% last time. I don't know if it's expected to show up there again. Yeah. Europe already out of recession. Yeah. What's up, DeSoto? All right. And again, the SPY still sitting pretty flat, still sitting pretty sideways at 373.30s, 373.30s. Yeah, I've been learning a lot more about AI. That's been my last subject to kind of really start learning here. Let me look at our poll here. So we did a poll. 48% think we're going to have a green week. So again, 48% think we're going to have a green week. 51% think we're going to have a red week. It's a slow time. It's Monday. I know, just like everybody else, my kids start school this week. So it'll be a busy week for my household with everybody starting school. And again, let me know what you guys think here. Let us pull back and CPI to be. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna get this week. I think it's possible that we get choppiness, but it's also possible we get some volatility. The market was down a lot last week, and again, when I'm looking at the big news this week, the market was down a good bit. And so it's possible that we get some bounces here. Again, I'm holding some swing trades. I've taken a lot of profit on my swing trades already. And so, we are scaling out of some of them. We're still in a piece of some of them. Again, my most extended one is Honeywell. So Honeywell is the most extended swing trade I'm in currently. And again, we'll see if that one holds. What do you guys think we get? Again, SPY testing these highs up here. All right, so again, Tesla bouncing back up. Let me look at like Apple here. We're watching Apple pretty close. Apple at 182.60s. Again, vote on the poll real quick. Also, hit the like button if you haven't already. I'm looking at, there's not really that many big news stories in the market today as well. There's just not really much going on in markets. Again, stocks are slightly up, according to Barron's. We got some more stories that we could look at too, but again, investors are kind of waiting for CPI dropping later on this week. There's a 35% probability. So still in September, there's a 35% probability of a hike by in September, but there's a 35%. Okay, so yeah. So 85% chance of the Fed. Let me see the CME watch tool actually. So what's the likelihood of this next Fed meeting? So what are they planning to do for this next Fed meeting? Are they still planning to raise? Let me see. So yeah, so actually, okay, so actually they're expecting a pause on the next meeting. So there's an 85% chance of a pause during the next cycle. And again, let me know what you guys think. But again, so far there's an 85% chance of a pause, which is very likely that's what they're going to do. So if we look at the graph here, so here's the graph. Large majority of people expecting a pause in rate hikes. But what this is showing me is that there's still a 35% chance of a hike in November. So there's still a big chance in November for a rate hike as well. Here's the Q starting to push up a little bit. Q up to 373.50s. I got burned on Apple last week. Should have known better. No, not necessarily. Nothing guarantees a market crash, though. Like, we don't know what's going to cause a crash, you know. So we don't know what's going to cause a crash in markets. Yeah, nobody knows what's going to crash the market or what's not. We don't know if high CPI is going to crash the market. We don't know if something else is going to crash the market. We really don't know. Yeah, what's a success? Again, how'd you guys do good last week? Or how'd you guys do last week? Green or red? Green or red last week, guys? Let me know. I think I was probably. It depends on what we're looking at, whether we're day trading or investing or swing trading. I think I was probably green, but I might not have been. Yeah, I think I was probably green, but who knows? Green investing, not day trading. Yeah, maybe. The market's not really doing that bad either, though. It's not like the market's terrible. Market's just been on a huge tear for the last like 8 months or so, and so the market's not going to keep going up forever. It's just not a reasonable expectation. All right, guys. So yeah, we're just kind of sitting tight right now. Be using this to bring down ACB stuff. I got a put made 1.3K. Lots of back testing last week. Nice. Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting tight. We got to find something to get involved with. Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla too. Where's Tesla? Tesla had a big pullback to everything. Tesla's been sitting around 250s for a while now. Is there an argument for a dip buy in Tesla? I don't know. Again, I'm not saying there is, but I guess there could be. If you guys think Tesla's going to hold that psychological level of 250. Yeah, I saw the Jake Paul fight. You know, again, Nate Diaz kind of bigged up Jake Paul though. Like, let's just be honest here for a second. Nate kind of beat up Jake a little bit. Now Jake obviously won the fight still, but I wouldn't really call it a W for Jake Paul. I wouldn't really say it's like the greatest win for Jake Paul. All right, look at Tesla pop up. So Tesla at 255s. So again, Tesla at 255. Let's see if it actually holds. Yeah, Nate. I mean, but Nate still did good though, man. Like Nate was. I was impressed by Nate. You know, Nate still kind of like he got dropped once, but he still did pretty good. Like, I was impressed. Yeah, and Jake Paul, man, again, Jake Paul's hilarious because it's like he hadn't fought a real boxer ever. The last time he fought a real boxer with Tommy Fury, he obviously got beat up in his last fight, and so it's like it's been this thing where he's basically just fighting retired MMA fighters that you know what I mean, that are not really pure boxers. He's just fighting MMA fighters. And then the first time he fought a real boxer in his career, he lost. And so now he's back to fighting 40-year-old Nate Diaz. And Nate Diaz still kind of brought it to him in the later rounds and definitely won a couple of those end rounds. Obviously lost the fight though, but yeah, first week of school this week, guys. Let me know if you guys think we're going to have any good momentum this week. Again, it is the first week of school. I know my kids start school this week. Again, we do have Tesla up. We got Apple up. We got Microsoft up a little bit. Tesla dipping down still. The Q holding support at that 200 EMA VWAP level, which has been a pretty good looking spot. Yeah, it did. Pawn reminded me kids do start school this week. So I'm sure a lot of people are busy. Palantir earnings are after the bell today. So again, Palantir earnings after the bell today. Again, Microsoft's still gapping up to around 330s here. Still looks pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, anybody that's severely rooting for Jake Paul, I got to question like what they're doing with their life if they're rooting for Jake Paul. Uh, Again, Jake Paul. I mean, here the reality of it is he obviously won the fight, right? So like Jake obviously won the fight. The problem with it is that Nate still banged him up a little bit towards the end, and so even though Jake obviously won the fight, I don't think it was a good look for Jake. I think Jake got banged up by a much older MMA fighter. You know, and I don't think that's a good thing for Jake Paul. You know. All right, but yeah, so look at Tesla dip. So Tesla now dipping under the VWAP. It's not really a big move. It's a pretty quiet day all around, but hey, what's up, Shepard? Ford? Yeah, we're looking at Ford as well. See, Ford's one of those stocks that's down. I don't mind Ford stock. Like, I don't mind the stock Ford. It's about right where it was when I liked it too. All right, so Tesla's still falling down some. Are the kids ready to go back to school? Mine are. I'm ready for. I'm more excited for my kids to go back to school than they are to go back to school. My daughter's real nervous. My son doesn't really care either way, but I'm excited for them to go back to school, man. They've been home all summer. I'm tired, you know. This last summer, like we traveled most of this year, so my kids really have no idea how to be bored. Like they think it's my responsibility if they're bored to give them something to do, and I just got to tell them, look, there's some days where you just kind of sit around doing nothing. That's life, you know. ExxonMobil. Yeah, I'm seeing Exxon right now. Again, we do have some earnings drop. We had some earnings drop for Tyson Foods, and they're up nicely from it. Hmm. Nvidia, yeah, I'm looking at Nvidia right now. Nvidia still at 450s, trying to hold. I'm still in that SOXS trade. I've been in this one basically all morning. Nasdaq positive, green today, Dow negative. Yeah, so most of the markets are slightly green. It's not really a crazy like big runner for any of these. Like the market's mostly flat. Like we have some slight green action, but the market's very slight and low volume today, man. There's just not much going on. There's no economic data today. There's a couple of earnings. We had like Tyson earnings drop, and I am in Tyson Foods actually too. Let me look at what this was since I'm in it. So yeah, when I look at Tyson Foods here, Tyson Foods hasn't dropped their numbers. They were supposed to release theirs at 6:55 this morning, but they didn't for whatever reason. But they were supposed to drop theirs earlier this morning for Tyson Foods. And again, they just haven't released theirs. So we're waiting for those to come out. I think most stocks are green today, but it is kind of like a flattish day. Watching SOXS microchips. AMD had a pretty green day despite everything else's weirdness. So yeah, AMD is up to 116s here. Still reeling from their earnings that they had a couple weeks ago. So yeah, AMD bounced back really nicely from earnings. So AMD had a really solid bounce back from earnings. And 116.20s right now, 116.20s for AMD. I'm up early every day, man. Yeah, so we're up early every morning. Is it 8 a.m. most earnings reports pre-market? Well, most earnings reports, like the big ones, mostly come out early. We've had some earnings that dropped today, but nothing big. Berkshire is supposed to drop as well. So like Berk is supposed to drop their numbers as well this morning. Dollar up, VIX is up. Yeah, I mean, the market is kind of waiting for the economic data that we got coming out today. We got CPI inflation data, PPI inflation data all coming out this week. And so the market's just kind of reeling, waiting for that is what's going on. We got some votes on our polls. We 50% are green, 50% are red. Yeah, I feel your rumor. I mean, that's kind of what I do, bro. I mean, I day trade, of course, but I swing trade as well, and I swing trade often. And my swing trading strategy, again, you got to think of it like what I will say is this, okay? Like, so many people are trying to like day trade for a living, and like I understand trying to day trade for a living, but I think like you got to be okay with not getting rich overnight. Like, if you want to truly get rich, you know, day trading is going to be very difficult if you don't have other income sources. You know, so like I'm okay with swing trading, but I also have other income sources where it's like you know, regardless of whether I make money in stocks, regardless of whether I make money day trading or swing trading, I'm making money no matter what, you know. So, you know, I think that's the mindset switch that you have to have. You know what I mean? And like what I always like to do is get really motivated to build up and learn different skill sets. You know, so like you don't have like if you're day trading, that's great. But AI is big right now. I'm learning AI. There's a lot of big. Again, this is a good thing. What skill sets do you think are good, are the best to learn? List them in chat right now. What tech skill sets? I mean, programming, coding, obviously. But I think AI is big right now. I think there's a big market for AI, and I think AI is kind of like Internet 2.0, and I think it's going to only grow larger and larger and larger from here on out. And so I think it's just important to watch. Again, we're looking at everything. The Fed aiming for a soft landing, what it means for earnings. So we're looking at Barron's now. Inflation data on Thursday. Core figure is expected to hold at 4.8%. That's better than it used to be, but still way too high. Yeah, so the yield on the 10-year Treasury nudged over 4% Friday, climbed higher still early this morning. It's lower than the 14-year high seen last October, but it's getting up there still. And so that's something to pay attention to also here. One of the possible explanations is that traders see inflation remaining high over the long term. We also have UPS Tuesday. Yeah, so again, investors are mostly waiting for CPI this week. It's expected to go up from June. CPI is still at its lowest level since April of 21, though, so it's still doing pretty well, and consumers have proved surprisingly resilient under all this. Again, we do have some earnings. The University Consumer Sentiment reading for August on Friday is expected to dip slightly from June. We also have UPS, Eli Lilly, Disney this week, along with AMC tomorrow, and a bunch of other earnings. So this will be an interesting week for sure. And I'm still watching Tyson Foods here. Tyson Foods is up, but I don't think they actually released their earnings. Savos, Campbell Soup, Beatrice. There's not really anything. Earnings are supposed to drop for Tyson at 6:55 today, so they're late as well. I don't know enough about Savos to really say. Again, I'm in Tyson Foods. We're up nicely there. NVIDIA sold out of their chips, I heard. Maybe I'm wrong. That's why they cannot supply Tesla with chips. Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's Monday, guys. It's Monday. Let me know what you guys see today. I'm looking at our polling numbers. We got hundreds of votes. 53% think we're going to have a green week with the CPI inflation report this week. Again, that'll be fun. We're going to cover that right here. We're going to be trading some too. Yeah, we're watching the Dow. We're watching the NASDAQ here. Let's see if the market keeps trending here. But the market itself, very slight, very, very slow. Automation running into issues. AI to me, it's like what 3D TV was. No, man. I mean, no offense, but and I'm not trying to be argumentative, but if you think it's gimmicky like 3D chips, I mean, again, we've had another guy say very similar things, which I don't know if that is necessarily a coincidence, but no offense, but if you think AI is like a gimmick right now, you have no idea what you're talking about. No offense to you. I'm not trying to start drama. It's all love here. We could agree to disagree there. In my personal subjective opinion, I think that means you don't know what you're talking about. I think AI and what we've seen from it is already so much larger of a business than 3D TVs, man. You know, I think it changes production. I think people don't like to be wrong, and so I think people kind of hold on to some stuff, but again, I just wildly disagree, man. And we could ask my chat. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm right or wrong here? Is AI gimmicky like 3D TVs? Let me know what you think. We are getting a little bounce up on Tesla here. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, I think again, I just think that's a bad take. And the reason I think it's a bad take is, and again, I'll explain this. And this is actually something really interesting because I had the same conclusion a year ago. So like a year ago, people were like, somebody was arguing with me about the same thing. They were saying, yeah, I think it's just buzzwords and keywords and gimmicky. Like AI is just a gimmick right now. And I told the same person back then that I'm going to say now, which is that it obviously is not a gimmick. I mean, it's the market of AI right now is already larger than 3D TVs ever were. You know what I mean? And so I think the market now for AI is huge. I think that it's going to fundamentally change production in a lot of different ways. And again, 3D TVs, no, I mean, 3D TVs were mostly just a gimmick, man. Like they didn't really do much. Like they were just kind of something to help sell TVs. Yeah, exactly, Corey. AI is gimmicky like those dang old electric cars. 100%, dude. Exactly. That's the thing people don't understand is that like I get it. People don't want AI. I get it. People might be skeptical of AI. But again, in terms of what you can produce with AI now, it's game changing for tech. It really is. It's going to be okay. I'll put it the easiest way to put this is that whenever you want to see what something's validity and longevity are, I guess is a better word for it, in markets, you want to look at what big money is doing. There's a reason Microsoft bought OpenAI. There's a reason Microsoft paid billions for OpenAI. If Microsoft did not think there was a future in AI technology, they would not put billions of dollars into it. They chose to put billions of dollars into it, and now OpenAI is one of the most relevant companies in the world because of like what AI can do. You know what I mean? So I think you got to look at that objectively. Yeah, again, as a programmer, you got to understand the use arguments for AI. You got to understand why it's changing the game. Specifically, the real game changing in AI is going to be in is in its image software, right? So like people, like a lot of people only know about AI from a lot of people only know about AI from like Bing and Google and like, oh, I can use Bing and I can ask the AI chatbot how to do certain things. And a lot of people, that's all they know about AI right now. The thing to understand is that that's just a small piece of its use case, right? The real use case arguments right now are in stuff like the Leap API. If you don't know what Leap API is, Google it. Like the API is a visual AI service. So Leap API is a visual AI service that allows you to basically have AI generated imagery. And I think that is incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful if you look at it objectively and you kind of understand what it could bring here. It's incredibly powerful in my opinion. Like having an AI software where you can like ask it to create visual imagery based off of a description is incredibly game changing for like productivity is really what it is. Like productivity changes when you can do this type of stuff. You know, like it's bad for visual design people. It's bad for digital design people. It's going to change production there. And that's where the question mark of like, hey, how does this impact everything else? You know, like how does this impact everything else? I don't know. But I think there's a huge chance that it renders a lot of businesses obsolete, is what I think it does. Sentience is a different story, man. And again, I don't know about what it's going to do when it goes sentient or not. Yeah, like again, sentience is a different story. Like I don't think we're anywhere close to that. Because again, like these are just tree structure algorithms is all like AI currently is. It's just tree structure algorithms. Like you ask it one thing based off of that question, there's an array of different answers that the tree structure can select, or that the program can select using a tree structure of like, and then if depending on that specific answer and response, there's another structure built around it. Like that's basically how AI currently is, and there's no way for that to turn sentient. It's just not. I don't think it's anywhere near that yet. Oh, for sure. Like if you look at the AI headshots, you know, if you look at just pure AI headshots, you'll see how it's going to basically render photography obsolete. Like one of the worst businesses you can do right now, one of the worst businesses you could ever do is photography right now. The reason that's one of the worst businesses is because you can basically spend $20 and have AI populate a more professional and better edited version of a headshot than you can pay somebody $300 for. Right, for 20 bucks you can get one within 24 hours, very professionally done using AI, where you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to buy a suit. You can literally just have the AI populated, and that is very bad for photography. It's very bad for photography. Again, so I think photography business is the worst business you can get involved with. The second worst one right now, I think, would be digital design. You know, digital design to a certain extent. There's some niches that are going to be clearly fine, but there's other niches that, you know, are going to be a complete waste of energy, putting your money into, putting your time and energy into those now. Real estate photography as well. Playing ping pong. That's not a real video, Mr. Longshorts. That is a yeah, that's not a real video. I know exactly what video you're talking about, man, but that's not real. Yeah. It doesn't even look real. Yeah, man, that was definitely fake, dude. Like what they do is that what they did is they took somebody's body and they they just swapped out like an actual person with like a machine digital, like a digital machine, and then that way it's kind of like what the movies do with like Avatar, where they put a bunch of sensors on somebody and then they swap the person out with like somebody else. That's what they did on that video, man. Yeah, writing. Oh man, writing is definitely a sketchy one. The problem though is that I think people are always going to read. People are going to want to read books from real people though. Now, nonfiction writing is a different story. I think nonfiction writing is on the way out. I don't think you need to write non-fictional stuff anymore. I think AI can do it auto for you. All right, so again, we're just consolidating down here. We got about 300 people here. It's pretty slow today, guys. There's just not really much economic data, not really much stuff coming out. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out here, guys, waiting to find some good movement in markets. I just don't think there is any like great movement right now. I'm still waiting for Tyson Foods to release their numbers, which it looks like Tyson is out with theirs. Oof. Yeah, I mean, luckily I scaled out of most of my Tyson trade because that thing just turned on me. Again, luckily I took most of that off, which is nice, but Tyson Foods could have been bad for me here. All right, I'm looking at other stuff too here. Yeah, market's still flat. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Yeah, again, luckily I took profit. I'm probably pretty flat on my Tyson trade now. Still green on the day in stocks, even with Tyson dropping. So, again, a lot of these are just long-term positions. Tyson had bad earnings, it looks like. So Tyson did report their earnings. It looks like it was not good. They posted 15-cent miss. Big earnings miss for Tyson. I'll put this up on screen. Yeah, they had a big miss here. Mostly what drove Tyson dropping is bad earnings. They miss big on their EPS, miss big on their sales. General Mills. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at General Mills. I'm in General Mills as well, actually. I think I took some profit on this one, though. I'm still in a small piece. Yeah, I mean, we got a big dip. I'm not going to add any more to this, though. I'm going to just sit tight. I could probably sit. I can either sell it now, but I think I'm just going to wait. Sorry, I'm fixing up my quotes. We're having to refresh my quotes here. If it there we go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that one, Reggie. Tidewater. Yeah, I don't know anything about this company, and I usually only stick with companies I know. Great long-term chart, but it's up a little bit too much for my liking short-term. And the weekly chart looks rough, like it's been diluted a lot. So, I don't know. I'm skeptical. Yeah, we're also trading a little bit currently. We're watching the rest of the market too, but there's the Q popping up. Q's a little bit more tech heavy. Tesla's still down there. Here's the SPY. If we want to look at the SPY right here, SPY at 447. Now the SPY's been on a little dip for the last couple of days here. You can kind of see the latest dip in the SPY right now. So again, big year where you know, this year the market ripped up big, and now we're finally dipping down a little bit now. So again, here's this year basically. Finally got a little pullback in the SPY and the S&P. So we'll see if no, I don't think Tyson's going to move anything lower with it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think Tyson's a large enough company to really move the market like that. Not like you might think. There we go. Yeah, we're kind of slowly scalping the Nasdaq here. You can kind of see on this trade we're up about $45, but we had 4 contracts. We're already kind of taking this from the market here. You can kind of see my graph. We're up about 250 on the day. I want to let this work a little bit more. Close, Douglas. I'm pretty close to funding my second one. Again, the goal is to get funded in the 151. All right, so we are dipping down a little bit. See, we're only up $60, and I'm already up a couple hundred on the day already. And so I'd love to give this one time to see if it follows the same trend that it's been in. You can kind of see we have this little trend. I'd love to see it break down some more here. We're up about 90. All right, we'll go ahead and lock that in. All right, so yeah, we're up 350 or so, 320. Sorry, we're up about 320 on this account. We'll see if we keep it up. Again, the SPY finally getting a little pullback here after a pretty solid couple months of runs, and then with inflation data coming out this week, it's a pretty big week. Yeah, for sure. I mean, diversification, Chris, is always the right move. I think right now, though, it's kind of like we're in a market where I just don't trust it that much in terms of like buying up. Like most of the stocks that I buy up are stocks that are already down, like big, so like Disney, I'm buying up, ExxonMobil, I'm buying up, Walgreens, I'm buying up, SOXS, which is kind of like a microchip short. I bought that one. You know what I mean? Snapchat, I'm green on that one too. So like most of the stocks I'm buying up are just stocks that I'm not buying up tech, like super high extended tech on the upside. They're just up too much for me personally. I'd rather just wait and find some extension elsewhere. It depends on where your time frame of holding it is. Like I'm okay with buying Apple. Like buying Apple's fine, but you got to buy it long term. You can't swing trading Apple right now is a terrible decision, I think, because it's just up so much. All right. And my problem with real estate, it's like I have this real estate business, or I'm a real estate agent, but it's like I don't have that much time to do real estate right now. What are some other ways to make money in real estate outside of actually being a real estate agent? Tyson started to bounce back a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I trust it at all, though. John, do you invest in real estate investment trust? Sometimes. No, I don't need to do seminars on real estate investing. I'm good on that. No, I've never heard of him, Chris. Land costs a lot in taxes. Well, it depends on what you're doing with it. YouTube channel about real estate. I've tried that, man. But again, the last guy that I did that with, like, people are just weird, dude. So like, I got like 2 or 3 people that want me to run a YouTube channel with them about real estate. But like, to be honest, it's so hard to get in business with people, bro. Like, you can't really trust people like that, man. Like, people, like, you just can't really trust people. John, what's your average price in Disney? Right now, my average price. So to put it into perspective, I sold Disney when it bounced up to the 91 level. And so I sold Disney when it bounced up to 91s, and then I think I sold again when it bounced up to 89s. And so my previous split, you don't trust anyone. Seems like, oh, I don't trust anybody, dude. But again, I don't trust anybody. And again, you got to understand, y'all probably shouldn't trust anybody either. Like, listen, people underestimate. Like, I think I'm trying to think of the most delicate way to put this. Like, people are desperate, man, is what it really is. Like, I think some people behave in a way to which you shouldn't trust them. You know, like, listen, I'll put it this way, right? Like, you got a bunch of people who, again, I'm trying to think of the most delicate way to put this. You got a bunch of people who think they're social media marketers when really they're not, right? And they don't really understand how to truly do it. And so they think it's one way when it's not, you know, and you got to be very careful letting those people join your channel, because they will hurt your channel because they think it's the right way to do it, but it's not, you know? And like, so it's not that I don't trust anybody. It's that I think a lot of the time people want to be my friend on this channel. Like, the easiest way to put it is, like, a lot of people, like, all of a sudden I got this channel, everybody wants to be my best friend. You know what I mean? Typically, I'm not dumb. Like, I understand most of these guys just want to be my friend in hopes that they can kind of piggyback off of my success a little bit on the channel, right? Like, that's what most people who all of a sudden want to be my best bud in real estate or in stocks or whatever it is, that's the reality of it, right? And I think that's objectively obvious, you know, or I think that's objectively true, and I think that's very, very obvious as well. But the reality of it is, like I said, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'm never going to share my channel with anybody. Like, I'm never going to give anybody a piece of beginner trading. I'm never going to split my channel with anybody. You know, it doesn't matter how many fake comments yell that I should bring somebody else on. It doesn't matter how, like, I'm just never going to do it. And I think every time I've brought somebody on the show, like, every time I've tried to bring somebody in, maybe, like, again, we've had like 30 plus different guests that have come on the stream. Some of them have been great and some of them have not been great. But typically, most of the time when I bring somebody on the show, that's what they expect, is they expect me to, like, split beginner trading with them, you know, and, like, I'm just never going to do that. And I think whenever you get people that try to be a little bit snaky with it, it makes you stop. After a certain point of encountering so many different people like that, eventually you're just kind of like, I'm just not going to have anybody on the show. No, Mitch was great. One Love. Mitch was completely different. I'm not talking about Mitch at all. Mitch was great, man. Mitch was a great business partner. If anything, Mitch was great, man. I had no issues with Mitch whatsoever. Mitch was just a good business partner. You know, Mitch wanted to go work at Benzinga, and you know, that's what happened with that. That's all it really was. Yeah, so look at what Pawn says. Pawn says it's hard to understand why John has like why I don't trust people until you see it on the back end. It really is weird, bro. Like again, to put it into perspective, over the last year, I've had one guy that tried to that I've had one guy that came on the show, right? Like this is kind of what I've been dealing with. I've had one guy come on the show. Um, all of a sudden starts sending fake users, like creating fake accounts and then pumping himself up, like telling everybody how great he was. Like, oh, this guy's great. You should let this guy be a co-host, John. Like, let this guy come on the show, John. But it's so self-evident and obvious that like he was behind it that it's like at a certain point it just got really awkward because it was like, okay, well, like I know you're doing this, you're doing this, that I know you're doing this, so like how desperate you got to be, man. You know what I mean? And again, it's not just one person. I've had a few different people act like that, and so at a certain point, it's just like, ugh, like, dude, it's just hard to bring other people on the show. Again, after a certain point, I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna just run this thing myself. Yeah, I don't think Elon and Zuckerberg are ever really gonna fight, and I think if they do fight, Elon Musk's getting beat up is what I think. I think if they actually do fight, Elon's getting beat up. Yeah, 100% Shepard. They'll take everything you have. Yeah, I think the most famous quote is like, anytime you have power in anything, people are going to want to take it from you, And so all I can really do is just create boundaries, Again, Tyson's still pulling back. Again, I didn't think they were actually going to bounce. They're down to 52s, 53s. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I think Elon talked about a potential for a fight there. Yeah, so I think Elon talked about the potential for a fight there. I don't think it'll ever actually get done, though. I don't think it'll ever actually happen. So I don't think they'll ever actually really fight. Yeah, I think Elon mentioned it first, and then they kind of ran with it from there. Again, the queue was pretty choppy. The whole market's kind of flat right now, guys. So we're just kind of hanging out talking, but. I've learned now to be quiet and just stay off the limelight. Yeah. Yeah, I think Mark Zuckerberg would beat Elon up. Mark Zuckerberg trains. He trains not only Muay Thai, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. I think if him and Elon fight, Elon's getting beat up. I hate to say it, but that's probably what's going to happen if they fight, is that Elon would get beat up. You ever trade gold? No, not really. I'm buying gold. I'm in gold. I think Zuckerberg. No, Top Step is mostly just strictly futures. The internet is a weird place, man. It really is, dude. Like, it's kind of like you ever see the thing where certain people think there's safety and anonymity, right? Where it's like catfish is a great example of this, right? Like, you got people that just are freaking weird because they think that they're anonymous when really they're not. Like, if you're smart enough, you can figure out who it is. But the internet's certainly filled with people that have that same mentality of like, hey, it's anonymous. Like, nobody can do anything to me. They'll never know. But really, like, again, I think some people just think it's less obvious than it is. Yeah, that's why I think Elon is gonna get beat up. My husband's a blue belt. Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is no joke, man. It really is. John, would you ever buy gold bars or coins? Yeah, I mean, I would, but it's not something that I think is super necessary either. Like, you can buy gold, like you can buy gold coins, you can buy gold bars, all that good stuff. But I don't know if you necessarily need to, you know. Um, yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was no joke, man. Again, and you don't need a lot of training too. If you train for less than a year, if you train for 6 months in BJJ, and just for 6 months, if you train for 6 months, you're gonna beat almost everybody you ever encounter on the street. You know, same thing with boxing. You train boxing for 6 months, you're gonna beat 90% of anybody else out there. You know. Yeah, for sure. Tupperware reversal. Yeah, Tupperware's been crazy the last couple of days, man. It's had a lot of hype. But again, it's one of those stocks that I usually kind of stay away from because I don't trust it. It's up so much. It's kind of what all the retail traders are chasing right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Texas, one love. So, I mean, I can't really talk about it on the stream, but yeah, man. I mean, all I'll say is this is the wrong house to break into. What are your thoughts on the NASDAQ 100? I mean, the NASDAQ is pretty flat today, man. It hasn't really done much. It's gone up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't ever do calls mostly. I mean, I sometimes do calls, but most of the time most of the time I'm just buying shares instead of options. Like, I just don't need options. Most of the time I'm just buying shares. Yeah, I'm still on a little bit of Snap. Yeah, that's the only reason like I'm hesitant to buy actual physical gold. You pay a premium, and okay, so the only real reason to buy physical gold, if you really like, the only real reason to buy physical gold is if you think something like if you think the economy is gonna, you know, if something bad's gonna happen in the world, like in days scenario. That's the only reason to buy physical gold, because if you aside from that, you pay a premium on that, so you have to pay extra to get the same thing. Where if I just buy it digitally, like I'm in GLD ETF right now, I'm down on it, but I've been in this for months and months and months now. Do you think Disney will beat? I really don't know. Again, my latest position, my average is 86.30s. My position prior to this that I took profit on. Again, I can kind of show you the trades. I think people act like I'm just like, look. So here's the actual trades of my Disney position. So again, we kind of buy it and sell it, buy it and sell it. Yeah, we're just kind of buying and selling this. I could show you. Hold on. So again, I have no idea whether Disney's gonna beat earnings. No idea. Yeah, no idea if it's gonna beat, if it's gonna miss. Not sure. With the Fed member speaking, I can look this up. I don't know if the Fed. Let me see. I can look it up. I don't think so. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We got Harker speaking. So we got FOMC member Harker speaking. So yeah, we got Harker speaking. Yeah, we're great on Disney today too. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, so again, we do have Barker speaking in 15 minutes. We've got Bostic speaking in 30 minutes. Bowman speaking in 30 minutes. Yet another earnings release we got today is AMC. AMC releases their earnings today. Over $5, or not today, tomorrow for AMC. So AMC drops theirs tomorrow. All right, so there's the 8 a.m. scrum. Just kind of moving the market a little bit right now. Scrum bouncing stuff back and forth. Fix my question. It just says green or red last week. What's wrong with it? Sorry, I'm kind of dealing with. Sorry, I'm kind of dealing with some business stuff in the background here. Yeah, so AMC, you think Celsius will beat? No, my chart goes back to last week. Look, here's the Q. Here's last week on the Q. I can go back longer too. All I gotta do if I can put a 3-minute chart up. So here's all of last week. Again, last week we started to slump like later last week, so we started to dip later. Again, though, we're just letting it settle. We got the VWAP, the 200 EMA. No, AMC releases their numbers tomorrow, I believe, right? So AMC is tomorrow. And like AMC, we usually get some pretty good numbers for. We've done AMC numbers many times. Yeah, so we're definitely going to stream AMC numbers. Let's see if we get anything good. So, is it AMC or GameStop that doesn't usually do the earnings call? Hey, John, how much exercise do you spend with your shepherds? I take mine out about 3 to 4 times a day to run around in the yard and throw sticks with her, but she seems to need more. I don't know. How old is it? I typically bring mine out a lot. Like my dogs love fetch, right? So like my Bruce, my German Shepherd loves fetch. He's a boy though, and so he typically has much more energy than my female Shepherd Rosie. Um, Again, Bruce is a boy and he's not fixed, and so he needs a lot more playtime, a lot more exercise. Like all he ever wants to do is play. But the way you'll know whether they get enough exercise or not will typically be how they behave. Like if your shepherds are chewing up stuff a lot and they're past their teething ages, they probably need more exercise. So like again with Bruce, he always wants to play, but he's not really tearing up anything. So he's not really chewing up the house, which is good. That means he's probably being okay with exercise. But again, our dogs love fetch. And so Bruce loves fetch. So I take him out and play fetch with them probably 4 or 5 times a day. And I usually try to get 15 throws per game of fetch, right? And my backyard's big, so like I have a lot of room. So typically I'll play with a football. So we'll play football with the dogs, and I'll just kind of go out there and I'll throw the football with them, 15 to 20 times each. And by the time I'm done with that, so like by the time I've gotten 15 or 20 throws in there for catch, both of the dogs are pretty tired. Like both of my dogs usually go jump in the pool afterwards because they're hot and they're tired. But every dog's a little bit different. Some dogs are going to need more and some dogs are going to need less. Depends on what line there are. If they're a working line, they're going to need a lot more. Oh, she'll be 5. Oh, well, 5-year-old dog should be okay with a little bit less exercise, but it just depends. Every dog's different. Again, Rosie, our female German Shepherd, she is very calm. Like she does not need a lot of exercise. She enjoys just kind of laying around with us. Again, Bruce, our male, he needs a lot more exercise. He wants to run and play a lot more, and so we gotta kind of let him. Yeah. Yeah, and again, AMC earnings are tomorrow evening. Again, we don't really have any big news stories today. We don't really have much going on. All right, so again, AMC started to pop up a little bit. We had the 8 a.m. scrum. We're sitting pretty sideways in the markets. We don't really have much else going on. It's 8:10 market time. We still got about an hour and a half before the opening bell. All right, so there's the scrum. You can see AMC starting to pop up a little bit again. We can put Tesla or the SPY up here to see what's going on there. Again, most stuff is very low liquidity, very flat. I think kids start school this week, so there's a lot of people out busy doing stuff for that. I think today's the first day of school in a lot of places, and so I think in that regard, we're gonna have less people, watching. Yeah, so again, we're watching Tyson as well. Tyson's still sitting at 52, so maybe that'll hold, but all right, so again, watching AMC on the right. Here's the SPY. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Again, very low liquidity today. We're just not having a lot of activity. Market's a little flat. We got a little bit of cushion on the day. Again, we're slightly green on the day now. We are up about 320 or so. Trading win-loss ratio of 7-1. Yeah. Bruce is in the neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, if she's not chewing up stuff, then she's fine. Yeah, and Q in a pretty slight range too. The market's just flat. I mean, there's Tesla starting to bounce back up, so we're watching Tesla. We can also look at like Apple and some other stocks that dropped earnings last week. Here's Apple. Again, a lot of stuff is slightly green on the day, but it's not like a crazy big green day or anything like that. Yeah, so Apple's slightly green. Again, not really a crazy green day or anything like that, but we are green in most stuff. There's AMC over 5, still holding. Yeah, we'll put the Q back up here. We had some other stocks drop earnings today, specifically Berkshire Hathaway was scheduled to drop theirs about 13 minutes ago. Did they drop? All right, so Berk, looks like they're down. Again, Berk is down. We don't know if it's from earnings or not. All right, so yeah, what are the yields up today? Let me see. 10-year yield up to 1.41%. They're at 4.1% for the yield. All right, so yeah, so again, with yields going up, it typically means there's confidence in the markets. You still have Apple. Berkshire has 47% of their portfolio in AI stocks. Neo, yeah, Neo is one of those stocks that I'm just not sure of, man. It's one of those stocks that I've seen a lot of investor hype for. And again, I just don't know. It's had a really good couple months from back in June and July. It's up like 100% or more relative to where it were. But again, there's so much volatility from stuff like Neo. I just don't trust. I don't trust it. Yeah, I just don't trust it there, you know. What's up, Justin? I see Tesla slowly gaining steam to break 255. Yeah, so we bought Tesla last week. Yeah, we're still kind of looking here. Apple under 200 right now is a steal when it's at 250. I mean, I think Apple's up a lot. What's the PE ratio of Apple right now is the real question. Apple at 180s. If we look at the PE ratio here. All right, so again, Apple PE ratio as of now is about 30, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's not a horrible PE ratio by any means. I wouldn't say it's like the best ever, but it's not bad, I would say. Yeah, so we got Barkin speaking right now, I believe, right? So Barkin speaks today. Or no, Harker. Sorry. I get them mixed up. So Harker speaking in 15 minutes. We'll see if that moves markets. Here's Apple dipping down, though, and there's the Q falling down a little bit as well with it. Again, so the big news today, guys. Again, inflation data coming out today. KKR, Tyson, Palantir, Lucid drop earnings today. Stock and bargain. So according, this is the 10-point news from the Wall Street Journal here. So I'll go ahead and give you some breakdown. So again, according to them, the stock and bond market have become more sensitive to inflation data. And so the reactions of Treasury yields and stock futures to inflation and wage over the past year have been larger than normal and different from forecasts. According to Spencer Hill, which is the senior U.S. economist at Goldman Sachs, he expects that the market sensitivity will continue because progress in lowering inflation to the 2% goal will be essential to the decision to stop raising rates. Again, that's basically what he thinks. But essentially what he's saying is that over the last year, the market reactions to the CPI inflation data have been more profound. So the Asian stock market closed mostly higher. Europe was at midday, and futures were up. All right, so trucking giant Yellow has filed for bankruptcy. Didn't I have a couple people mention this one, YELL? So yeah, they filed for bankruptcy. Stock's back down at 206. Debt costs threaten to wipe out apartment buildings across the U.S. All right, so it says, and this is a quoting from this article. It says, quote, investors bid up the prices of multi-family buildings for years, attracted by steadily rising rents and the prospect of outsized returns. But many took on too much debt. before a sudden surge in interest rates, slowing rent growth and rising building expenses. Apartment buildings are down 14%, according to CoStar. Outstanding multifamily mortgages are up to about $2 trillion, according to Mortgage Banking Association. Nearly $1 trillion in multifamily debt is set to come to close by 2027. Again, look at the Q dip here, Q at 273s. And again, that was all quoting from the Wall Street Journal. All right, so again, that's showing here. We don't really have the biggest news today, guys. Is Apple up a lot in the lens of 2030? No, I think Apple will be fine in 2030, but it depends on if you have the patience to hold it that long. And again, who knows? I might be wrong there. I don't know. Again, I think personally Apple's up too much, but again, here's the reality, right? So stocks like Amazon are another example of this, right? Where people are saying, oh, they're up too much, and Amazon doesn't really care and just kind of keeps on ripping back up. Now, Amazon's a little bit different than Apple because, like, if we look at Amazon here, Amazon is still technically red on the year, or at least close to break even right now for Amazon. If we put up a daily chart, again, Amazon is pretty flat on the year. Here's where the year starts. You know, and Amazon is only like right around that spot. You know, so here's where the year starts. Actually, I'm sorry. Amazon's green on 2023, but in terms of the last 52 weeks, which is here, August, it's pretty much flat. Now, if we keep pushing, it's going to be green, and it's definitely green in 2023. But again, that's the difference here between, like, that's the main difference between Apple and Amazon. But Amazon did great on their earnings, flew up, their guidance was good, and so it's creating one of these things where people are still buying it despite being really extended on the upside. Apple, on the other hand, has been much stronger than Amazon, if I remember this correctly. Yeah, so Apple has just had a very, very nice upward chart, really since 2015. Apple's done great. Steady rise in Apple, finally getting a dip down to 180s, and this is a decent little pullback here, but the question is, do we hold? Does it bounce? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Apple a buy or sell? A good question. Is Apple a buy or sell? Let me know. What do you guys think? Also, guys, if you haven't checked out MooMoo, here, I'm going to put the MooMoo link up in chat. So if you haven't checked out MooMoo, man, again, one of the ways I find these economic reports, all this data, is MooMoo. MooMoo, incredibly powerful, incredibly useful as a company. Again, zero commission stock and options trades. So number one, like, there's no commissions in stock and options trades. Look how useful this is, right? So here's their heat map. We put this up. You can kind of see, we'll go ahead and break down what's moving in pre-market. So in pre-market right now, we got Miss Fresh moving up almost 50%. You can kind of see all the other ones. TTOO up about 30%. SVFD, Save Foods, up 126% in pre-market. The rest of these, Yell, bankruptcy filing, down about 43%. Sage, down 48%. Tech Point, down about 65%. And so that's the movement. Hot stocks moving. SVFD, again, up 9%. AGRI, up 7%. Crazy moves for hot stocks. Crazy moves here. AAOI up 67%. TDSD up 87.5%. And again, those are kind of crazy moves here for hot strategies. Another great thing about MooMoo is, like, look, I could double tops. See all the symbols that are double topping. Triple tops, same thing. Shoulder tops, same thing. Bullish triangles, same thing. I can check all these, see what the PE ratio is, see what the capital looks like, the changes, all that good stuff. I've built a screener here on MooMoo that finds me stocks that have a greater than 100 billion market cap with a PE ratio under 40. That are around 20-day lows. Pfizer's fits that list. S&P Global fits that list. Honeywell. You can kind of see all the stocks that are around this. So I built that custom scanner, which is great on MooMoo. Great scanners. I can also go to Paperfolio, and I can find different traders, see who have See, this guy's up 66% on the month. I can see what he's holding. He's holding Rivian, NKLA, General Motors, C3, Uber, and TTOO. I can see when he's making buys. I can follow him if I want to mimic his trades. And I can look at total fans, people with the most fans, people who are up the most on the month, people who are up the most on the day as well. And again, I can check those, see what they're doing. I can also look at news here and find economic data. So again, today we can look at North America and 3-star, and we can see crude oil inventories later on Wednesday, core CPI on Thursday. So again, CPI, the biggest thing, jobless claims, and I can find all this stuff as well as earnings. I can go to earnings here and look at all the earnings coming out today. Today we have Palantir and a bunch of other ones. Very useful, guys, very useful. If I go to options, there's free unusual option activity on MooMoo. And again, there's zero commission. And it's free. It's free to use stock platform. It's completely free. And again, if you open up an account and deposit $100, you get 5 free stocks. You open up an account and deposit at least $1,000, you get 15 free stocks. And I got like Palantir and a bunch of other ones. You open up an account and deposit over 5K or more, you get the previous 15 free stocks plus a free share of Google or Tesla. And I did get Tesla. And so incredibly useful. Check them out. They are a sponsor of mine. Great way to help support the channel here. Check them out. There's a link. Again, it's a free platform. If you open up an account and deposit, you get free stocks. And so it's a pretty easy argument. It's, along with everything I just showed you, it's a pretty good argument. If you want to check them out, we'll put this link up. And again, you can check them out if you haven't already. We'll pin this to the top of the chat. Yeah, Palantir drops their earnings today, guys. So here's PLTR. Look at Palantir drops their earnings today. Again, they've had a crazy rise, man. If we look at like a 10-minute chart, Palantir's had a crazy rise, and they're finally dipping down ahead of earnings. They do drop their earnings today. Again, here's Palantir. Palantir's been on this big rise since late July, pulling back over the last couple weeks, but been on a run. Does the run continue? Does the run continue for Palantir? Let me know. Yeah, so MooMoo allows you to trade the entire pre-market session. So on MooMoo, you could start trading as early as 4 a.m. on MooMoo, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, so in pre-market, guys, 16-hour U.S. trading every day, including 6.5 hours of regular and 9.5 hours of pre-market and post-market. So for pre-market, it starts on MooMoo at 4 a.m. You can start trading on MooMoo at 4 a.m., which is really the reason I switched from TOS. It was because I can actually day trade early in the morning on MooMoo. Not really any big economic data today. No, not anything major here, to be honest. I'm not sure, Fred. I'd have to check it out, man. I'm not sure if they have that one. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, they might for the screener. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Kate. I'm not sure, man. I would reach out to them. I have no idea about beneficiaries or anything like that. I'm not sure, bro. I'd reach out to them. Consumer credit at 3. Yeah, so there's Palantir. Again, they dropped their earnings after the bell today, guys. After the bell. Again, we're in another short position here on the NASDAQ. We got a nice little cushion built up. I can hold this one flat and break even. I might add a little bit more if we break down more. We got one contract at the NASDAQ here. Currently have about 350 in this account, including these gains. All right, so we just added a little bit more here. I don't know if I like this move here. That doesn't look good. Very close to cutting this. Yeah, we're going to have to cut that. So we just lost a little bit. We're still up 220 on the day, so we still got a nice cushion. On Apple a day, yeah, we'll see about Apple. Again, we ended up losing on that trade. Again, is Apple a buy or sell? Let me know. Here's another question here. Is AI the future? No, what's a good question? Does CPI inflation data come in higher or lower than expected on Thursday? Let me know what you guys think about that. I'll be right back, guys. I got to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. But let me know, does CPI data come in higher or lower on Thursday? All right, we're back, guys. And again, we're checking to see AI will get much better. AI is up now. Apple is a sell. No one can objectively give a solution to their revenue decline. Maybe. Corp hype for AI is high. What's ACM? don't know anything about ACM as a company. Did you mean AECOM? Yeah, I don't know anything about them, man. Again, we got a little pop for Palantir right now. We're watching the queue. Here's the SPY. We're also watching Tesla pretty closely, too. Got less than an hour before the opening bell. There goes the SPY finally getting a rise back. Look at the NASDAQ rip. So the NASDAQ's pumping up, too. Look at the NASDAQ fly up right now. It's up to 15.4 thousand, 15.4K. You know, they're much more stable Agent V than, you know, again, to put it into perspective, guys, I hope traders really understand what I'm about to say. All right. Like, I think retail traders a lot of the time get sold on shorting the most successful companies in the world. You know what I mean? I think big traders get talked into doing that, or retail traders. I mean, not big traders. Retail traders get talked into doing that. But the thing to understand is that Apple is one of the largest companies in the world. It has some of the most safe long-term returns over any stock in the world right now. And again, nobody knows what it's going to do short-term. But again, Apple is one of the largest companies in the world. I think when you look at Apple, I think when a large majority of the smartphones here in the United States are Apple products, I think regardless of revenue increases or declines, Apple's obviously going to be fine long term. Like when you zoom out and you look at Apple in 5-10 years, Apple's going to be fine. You know, that's not really arguable. I think that's a very clear, very obvious thing. I think, again, and I have a daughter, right? One of the big telling things about Apple as a company is like, I have a daughter, right? My daughter's a teenager. She has an Apple phone, as does all of her friends, right? So I couldn't buy my daughter a Samsung phone if I wanted to, you know, because again, Apple did something really smart where it's like if you're in a group chat, they know whether you have an Apple or not, and young people want to fit in. Like young people want to fit in, and so again, I think Apple has the younger generations on lock. I think they're all going to want to use Apples for the most part. And I think that's very telling of their future. I think Apple's going to be fine. It's one of the largest companies in the world. So I guess my point in all this, the overarching point I'm trying to make here, I guess, is like, don't take a sucker's betting against one of the healthiest companies long term. Like that's an incredibly risky bet, trying to bet on the downside for Apple. And I think that's a very low edge bet as well. Although I might be wrong. You know, but I think it's a low edge betting against it. Maybe, and again, I don't even have an Apple. Like, again, I have a Samsung. Like, I'm a Samsung guy. I don't even have an Apple. But that's kind of my point. Is like, even as a Samsung guy myself, Apple's obviously going to be fine. And I'm not going to bet against the healthiest company in the world. You know, it just seems like a sucker's bet. It seems like something that, like, retail traders, again, y'all got to know where y'all's edge really is. And I don't think it's against betting. I don't think it's with betting against these super healthy companies long term. Well, I 100% agree with you. Is that worth investing in? Is what worth investing in? Is Apple? I mean, long term, obviously, I think it is. Like, I think long term, when you zoom out over a 20-year period, Apple's going to be safe. And I think investments are about figuring out what's safe and what's not. You know, I think when you compare that to something like Gucci, is what you brought up, right? I think Gucci is at much greater risk for failure than Apple ever could be, because Gucci is fashion. And one thing that's objectively true over long-term periods is that fashions change, trends change, cool brands change. All right. Now, we can look at it a lot of different ways. Again, when I grew up, the cool thing to wear was Abercrombie and Fitch and American Eagle and Doc Martens. You know, that was the cool thing to wear in the 90s and early 2000s was Doc Martens, American Eagle, Abercrombie, Hollister. You look at those brands now, some of them are still around, but they're certainly not what they once were, right? Thus shows you the risk of investing in fashion brands. That's the problem. And some of these might succeed, but there's risks long term, right? That's the point I'm trying to make, is there's risks long term. Now, even if we look at other luxury brands like Gucci, right? Here's a great example. Years ago, like 10, 15 years ago, the cool brand Dolce & Gabbana was like a huge fashion brand, like a huge luxury brand, Dolce & Gabbana. Now, nobody even really knows who they are. And so trends, brands, and fashion changes. And so Apple is going to have a much more stable future, much more safe longevity predictions on Apple than any of these other ones. Here's the Q. Q started to dip down today, though. Look at the Q, guys. So the Q's fallen down a little bit now. It's down to 373s. They're not huge. Abercrombie's still struggling, and so is Hollister. Like, they've got some brands and stuff, but it's certainly not something that I want to bet on long term. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want something that's broken even over a 20-year period, you know? Apple is big, but maybe too big in population growth. Yeah, but China's not the big purchases, or like China's not the ones that buy a lot of Apple products. China usually mostly goes with Samsung. And so a decline over there is going to mean less Samsung's purchase, not less Apple's purchase. You know what I mean? So like, again, there's reasons to use both. I like Samsung's more because they're more free phones. But again, I think Apple's obviously going to be fine. Watching in NDM just announced a massive share repurchase plan, 227 million worth, and their market cap is 700 mil. They also just announced their first ever profitable quarter. Back from the beach? You said you are or me? I haven't been to the beach in months. Oh, you're back from the beach. Hope it was fun, man. Hope you had a good time, dude. All right. 27% of fashion brand incomes come from people making under 50K. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a very famous saying, and the saying is very true. And the saying goes, don't try to look rich, be rich. You know, and I think people want to look rich more than they're actually rich. I don't care about looking rich. I'd rather be rich. And so I'm not spending $500 on any piece of clothing. The only thing I would ever consider buying in terms of the only thing I'd ever consider buying is a Rolex for resale purposes, but even that's going to be a hard argument to talk me into. But yeah, again, the saying rings true. Don't try to look rich, be rich. A lot of people want to look rich. A lot of people don't actually understand what the wealthy do. Like an example of this is like a lot of people think the wealthy own their cars, right? A lot of people are like, oh, if you're really wealthy, you're just going to buy the car. That's not necessarily true from my experience and the wealthy people. A lot of the wealthy people I know don't own cars at all. They lease their cars because they can always have the newest and best. They can swap it out for the new model every year, right? So like you want a new Mercedes, right? You go to the dealership, you can either spend $100,000 on a new Mercedes or you can lease one for like 20 or 30K, you know, or for like 10, 15K maybe a year, depending on which one it is. And every year you can just kind of swap it out. If it's 2022, you swap it out, get the 2023, spend another 10, 20K. Next year, swap it out for the 2024, so forth and so on. And so that's what's actually going on by the truly wealthy. They're not actually owning a lot of the cars that they're in. They're just kind of upgrading to the newest and best one every year. Depends on how much. I think if you're in like 100 millions or billionaire status, you might just buy it. But again, in order to really be able to afford some of that stuff, people don't understand. A lot of people go with like the stereotypical rich stuff, but like, well, if it's a business, it's different, right? So if it's a business, sure, write that car off. That's all good. They could write off a lease too, but right, exactly. Exactly, Alexis. That's what a lot of them do. Now, that's with the exception of people who run a business and get a work vehicle and then write that business work vehicle off. Yeah, I think it's something that you'll see very common with like wealthy people is that, again, there's a lot of good quotes. One of them is like, riches yell, wealth whispers. And so the point of that quote is that like a lot of the wealthy people don't want to be targets, man. They don't want to be targeted. The flashier they dress, the more they bring attention to themselves, the more people are going to try to target them. Um, and I think that's something that you'll see consistently true. Yeah, but it's not about you're missing the point though, I see. A lot of them don't own them, to be honest. A lot of them lease. And again, the reason a lot of them lease is not just for depreciating aspects. They're not caring about that. They don't want to go through the hassle of having to buy and sell another car every year. Like they're gonna want the newest models. If you're truly wealthy, like you wanna right now you want a 2024 model. Right? Do you feel like buying and selling a 2024 every year? No, that's going to be a lot of work. Most of the time, they're just leasing it every year so they don't have to keep buying and selling it. So they can always have the newest model, right? But again, it's subjective. Everybody's different. I think it's probably somewhere in between. But my point is, it's not about the depreciating aspect of it. It's about it's a lot easier to lease something than to purchase it, resell it, purchase it, resell it. Yeah, TSN is down again. I'm probably just gonna sit on mine. It's a small trade. Crimes influence fashion. Yeah, for sure. He knows this because that's what he does. No, I mean, honestly, it's not. I'm not anywhere near that. Like I make great money. I make great money, but like, but I don't have fu money like that. I wish I did. I mean, trust me, it depends on who you are. If some people heard how much I make, they might think that what I make is fu money, and it's not. It's not. But I do well for myself. But again, I'm not going to tell you guys how much, but I do okay. Um, Again, Tyson's still sitting there. Bad earnings report. Yeah, it's subjective, I guess. ICU, it's all good, man. I think everybody's a little different. You've never heard the term "fu money"? It's exactly how it sounds. Having "fu money" is exactly how it sounds. You got enough money to where you could tell anybody "fu" and not have to worry about it. That's where it originates from. Ballad. Well, depends on how rich. If we're talking billions, of course. If we're talking billions, a car is a measly purchase for them most of the time. But yeah, if we're talking billions, yeah, they mostly have drivers. Again, Tyson down at 52s. We'll see if it actually holds. We're watching it. Again, we're in Disney too. Disney drops their earnings. They're gapping up a little bit today. Dan Locke. Dude, nah, Dan Locke's full of crap, dude. Most of these online gurus are full of crap, to be honest. Again, most people lose more money buying these guys' sleazy courses than anywhere else, bro. Like, again, I try to talk people out of it all the time. And the problem with this is like people like Dan Locke. The reality of it is that whenever you spend so much time and energy on anything, Your bias is you desperately want it to be real. You desperately want that bias to be real, right? And so if you've spent so much time and energy on Dan Locke, you desperately want what he's saying to be true. The problem is it's not. And no matter how much you pretend in your head that it's true, it's not. Again, it's the only way. I'm going to be real with you guys. Okay. The only true way, like, here's the problem with most affiliate marketing advertisements, right? And what a lot of people don't understand about affiliate market, from somebody who makes six figures affiliate marketing, the only way you're ever going to do what I do is if you have a large following. It's the only way you're ever going to make six figures affiliate marketing is if you have a large following. The only way that any of the content in any of these courses is true about affiliate marketing is if you have a large following, right? You have a large following. You don't need these guys to tell you how to do it. You'll figure it out. The problem is, like, people sell courses on these affiliate marketing guys, and it's total nonsense. They act like you can just get rich without a following, and you can't. If you want to make money in affiliate marketing, you have to have a following. If you don't have a following, if you don't want to be an influencer or whatever it is, you're not going to make money affiliate marketing, no matter how much you try. You're right. That's just the reality of it. But again, they're selling courses to, people who just desperately they desperately want to believe it's true. And anybody can build a following. You don't need to pay for these guys' courses on it. Well, FU money is probably, it depends. Everybody's FU, everybody's number is different. To me, FU money would be like like a mil a month. That's basically FU money. If you've got a net worth of 20 million plus, that's FU money. I almost fell for a scrap, but I read his book and instantly saw through it 100%, man. One Love, I'm not sure what you're saying there, man. Don't fall into the YouTube bashing. Nah, listen, man. Again, one of my jobs is to protect traders, and I know probably what happens is, like, somebody that falls for this stuff. Sometimes the truth hurts. It's gonna hurt for me to say what I'm saying, because if you were sold by these gurus, it might not be fun to hear me say, "Hey, that's a waste of time and money." Like, again, people desperately want to believe it's true, but again, my job is to protect traders. My job is to protect people, and again, I'm not the only person saying this about Dan Locke. I'm not saying there's not good educators in the affiliate marketing space, but he certainly isn't one. And it's important for people to know so that they don't get gotten. Yeah, hopes and dreams, man. Oh, dude, hopes and dreams, bro. You tell people that they're going to get rich, people desperately want to believe it's true. They ignore a lot of red flags to have it. Tesla. Yeah, market's popping up a little bit. Here's the Q. The Q is moving up with the market as well at 374s. Here's Tesla. Tesla is less volatile, but moving up a little bit. Again, it's a slow day. We don't really have that much stuff going on, to be honest. Yeah, it's even easier if you tell them you're going to get rich quick. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you need realistic hopes and dreams, not delusions of grandeur. And we're in TSN right now. We've been in it. Again, I've been in this one for a while, so I'm just going to stay in it, I think. Yeah, 100%, Corey. PayPal. Where's PayPal at? I think I bought PayPal last week. Yeah, PayPal's up a little bit today. That's nice. See if it holds. Wonder if Tesla and Meta will fluctuate. Tesla is volatile, but Meta's still holding over 300s, which is still pretty good. You know, if it can hold over 300s, it's doing better than a lot of people thought it would. All right, we got about 30 minutes, guys. 30 minutes. We can look at Meta here. Meta's still at 313 or so. Open VWAP over the 200 EMA. Look at the SPY still ripped, so the SPY is still bouncing. It's at 448 right now. Yeah, TSN's still holding there. Another one I'm in is Honeywell. We're green on that one today, red on the trade though for sure. We're gonna see if we get stuff to bounce back today. Again, we have until Thursday for CPI data. So Thursday CPI data comes out. Again, we do have Disney earnings this week. Disney up nicely again today too. Our average is 86.30s for Disney. So we'll see if it holds there. What's up, Alan? We did break yeah, we did break 112,000 subs last week, guys. So thank you so much. We appreciate the love. Back for vacation. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be returning back. I wonder if, like, here's my question. I wonder if we're going to have more market activity or less market activity once everybody's back in school. You know, so like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that back to school will bring more or less liquidity to markets? Because I think people are going to be back from vacation and more likely to trade. We'll do a poll. Well, school's starting back up. Again, will school starting back up bring more or less liquidity to markets is another good question. I don't know. More liquidity? I hope it brings more. Typically, the fall months are where we get the busiest months in market activity or fall, but September is typically a really bad month for markets as well. I think a lot of people are just waiting. A lot of people are on vacation as well. All right. Yeah, very strange. All right, so we're still pushing up a little bit in the markets here. We still got less than 30 minutes now until the market opens. We're going to get ready to trade some futures. Hey, what's up? Hit the like. Thanks, man. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. We appreciate it. All right. Oh, dude. All right. Yeah, we'll see if we make $1 today. I don't know. Again, I'm green on my swing trades, which is nice. Still in Disney. I don't know what to do with that one either. You guys red or green so far today? Let me know. Market opens up in about 28 minutes. We'll probably keep the stream pretty short today. We are going to get ready to trade some futures, though. There's Apple. There's Tesla on the right. Again, we're going to get ready to trade some futures today. Let me pull this up. We're slightly up a little bit on the NASDAQ. So we're slightly up on the NASDAQ. 3.5 to 1 win-loss ratio. We'll see if it continues. Got a little dip here in the NASDAQ. Do we want to buy this trend? I think we might. All right, so we got a beautiful bounce up real quick. Huge rip. One of the nice dip buys ever. I just made a quick little $100 in about 10 seconds on this account. So we are back up to about 300 green on the day, 4 to 1 win-loss ratio. Hey, thank you. Hit the like. All right, so another big dip here in the NASDAQ. Part of me wants to buy the dip, but look at Tesla's drop. Tesla just had a really big red candle. Does anybody know what this is from? All right, so yeah, PayPal launched the dollar stable coin. Tesla with a big pullback here is the only reason I'm not buying up the NASDAQ currently. Does anybody know why Tesla dip happened? Let's see if we can look it up. Elon Musk says he might need surgery and it's going to get an MRI. That can't be making Tesla drop, can it? Tesla CFO quit. Did they really? Right, so we're going to buy this dip again. One contract at the NASDAQ here. Another little bounce back up. Big pop. All right, so we're green, nicely green on the day. We're up about 350 or so. Here's the graph in this account so far today. Those little dips have been working. Again, we're up about 350. 4.5 to 1 win-loss ratio here. Tesla did get a little bounce. All right, so yeah, Tesla CFO quit is what this looks like. We'll put this banner up on screen. That's what this looks like. All right, so Tesla appointed Bob Taneja as CFO in addition to his current role as CAO to succeed Zachary Kirkhorn, who stepped down August 4th. but he's going to serve it until year end. So let me fix this. Also, guys, we're on Top Step right now. We already got funded on one account last week or the week before, and we're trying to get funded on another one. If you haven't already, check out Top Step. It's a funded program for futures in which they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you can hit the target on the demo while following your rules and conditions, and they fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split. It's the easiest way to get exposure to day trading without taking on huge risks. Most day traders are going to lose, and so if you put the money up yourself, you're probably going to lose that. And Top Step is a great way to learn. So they have free funding coaches. What they do is they give you a demo. Base one's 50K, and they give you a profit target. So basically, the base one's 50K demo. If you can hit 3K in profit on that demo without losing over 2K, a 2 to 3 ratio, a reasonable ratio, then they fund you 50K as long as you can pass their testing and their rules with a 90% split. And then you get to keep your first $10,000 in profit as well. So you get 90% after your first 10K, which is a great system. And again, it really puts you in a situation where you can learn, grow. You still have some pressure to succeed in day trading. Like, in day trading, the base combine is $49 right now. And if you can pass it, great, you get 90% and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. You get 90% profit split moving forward, and then you get to keep your first 10K as well. But if you fail, you're only down $50. It makes perfect sense. They pause memberships. They should resume pretty soon, but if you want to get news and updates on when they're going to resume, again, sign up to their wait list. We got a nice little cushion. We're watching Tsla here to see if it holds or bounces. And again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor. But again, if you want to check them out, there's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Tesla's still consolidating. We got the NASDAQ up here too. All right, so we are bouncing up to test the top of the range. The NASDAQ's been going back and forth. We got 20 minutes until the market opens, guys. 20 minutes. Does the market go red? Again, the SPY is still pretty green on the day. The previous closing price on the SPY is 448.60s. 448.60s. The NASDAQ's green on the day as well. It's still pretty green. The previous closing price on the NASDAQ from yesterday to today is 13.362. NASDAQ's at 15.362. The NASDAQ's at 15.4 now. So the NASDAQ's still doing pretty well. Very green on the day as well. Look at that huge rip in markets here. I'm not sure what this rip is caused by, but look at that big bounce in markets. Is it Berkshire Hathaway earnings, maybe? Does anybody know why the market is up this much? Berkshire is supposed to drop their numbers at 8, but I don't. Oh, yeah, Berk is out. They missed. Anybody know why the market just bounced like it did? Look at that move on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is pretty volatile regardless. But look at Tesla dip here. So Tesla testing lows. Apple still pushing up there to almost 183s. Yeah, we're watching everything else. Again, we had a KKR. Tesla testing the bottom of that range. The NASDAQ still pushing up with Apple, though. NASDAQ still surging up here. And again, if you here's the earnings from this morning. So if you want to see a breakdown on the earnings from this morning, here's the link. You can check it out. There's the link right there. What's up, Justin? Yeah, so okay, so yeah, it could be from the FOMC member speaking. The market's starting to bounce. We are getting a lot of green. Exxon's still green. Disney's still green. Meta dropping? Is it really? Meta's still pushing up. Meta's at 313.30, about to break the highs of pre-market. So Meta's not dropping. Might be on an older chart, unless I'm wrong, which I don't think I am. Yeah, Berkshire came out. So Berkshire Hathaway did report their earnings this morning. So BRK. Yeah, Berk did drop their numbers here. All right, so Berkshire reported second quarter net 24,774 per average equivalent Class A share, swinging from a loss of 29.663 thousand Class A share year earlier. We can show you Berk's numbers right here. The Berkshire results. Again, NASDAQ still pumping up. Apple's still pumping up too. Mullen's terrible as a company, man. I've been telling people that for a year plus. Again, a lot of retail traders are just stuck losing boatloads of money in it, though. So they're you get so many retail traders just pumping it up, talking about how great it is, but it's terrible as a company. Again, the NASDAQ's still just surging up. Look at the NASDAQ here, man. Wow. Again, Apple finally getting a little dip. We're watching Tesla too, but we'll see if we hold here, guys. We got 15 minutes. Tupperware was in a crazy squeeze. Yeah, it's bad. Zach was crazy important for Tesla. Yeah, not good. That's for sure. Tesla's starting to crack lows. Tesla cracked lows here down at 250. Let's see if 250 holds. Yeah, I don't know if there's any news. Tesla's dropping because their CEO or their CFO resigned. So that's what's going on with Tesla's. Their CFO resigned. And so Tesla reacting negatively here, breaking down all the way down to 250. Just tap 250 here for Tesla, still trying to hold. All right, so we got a decent little pullback on the NASDAQ here. Tesla's still consolidating around lows. Going to the 40s. Mullen, great for swing trades. I don't know. Seems just incredibly volatile and just kind of a gamble. Terrible chart, though. Look at Mullen. Put up a 4-hour chart on Mullen. That's a rough-looking chart, man. All right, guys, 13 minutes, 13 minutes. Sorry, I'm trying to test something for Pawn, who's having trouble with Quant Tower. All right, sorry, I'm helping Pawn. To make sure we got the same. There we go. All right, so we got to back up. Yeah, I was trying to put this up for, I wanted to make sure when you're logging into Quant Tower, you didn't have to click any of the boxes. I couldn't remember what I was doing. Yeah, there we go. All right, we are back up here. NASDAQ, pull it back a little bit. Is this a buy? I think we're going to try to buy it. I bought one contract at the NASDAQ here, just one. We'll see if we get a little pop. We can rub about 350 on the day already, so we got a nice little cushion. All right, green. We start to really flush, we'll cut it, but I'd love to give it a chance to bounce. The problem is Tesla's breaking lows. That's usually typically a weak sign. See if this thing flows up or down. Yeah, I'm going to sell that. All right, so we just cut it. Oh, wait, let me make sure this might be the wrong one. Ooh, nice. Okay, so that was my demo account. I forgot to specify. Cool. All right, now we're in the right one. Good. So I restarted Quant Tower, and I forgot to specify the right account. So it looks like that helped me. I was looking at my P&L and I didn't see that loss come in, so I figured it must have been something else. Mullen just dumping down here, just falling down fast. Tesla getting pretty volatile. Let's see if we bounce at that 250 level, though. At that 850 level. Or not 850, sorry. 250. 250 should be a psychological level. We'll see if it holds. I don't know. Let me see if I can specify this. Nice. We did get a little pop. I'm watching Apple pretty closely here, too. And we got 8 minutes into the market opens, guys. Yeah, 250 seems like a psychological support level. Ugh, my stomach is in knots, man. If you guys remember, we bought this dip. And so that trade would have worked, but we lost on our demo account. But luckily, it was just our demo. All right, guys, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Green or red so far today? Let me know. Are you green or red today? Somebody wants to buy this little dip, too. We'll go ahead and take a little piece. See if Tesla's got the momentum to bounce back. All right, so we're flat on this trade. I like this technical move here. The technicals look good right now, but we got 6 minutes into the open. All right, so there's 2 contracts. We just took half off. Protect the trade a little bit. See if we get a little bit more of a bounce here. All right, there's a nice little gain. We're up about 400 on this account right now, maybe a little bit less. Look at Tesla bouncing back. This should be good for me. All right, you can see we're up. Whoa. And time to exit. I don't know what that was, but what a move. Did anybody see that? What was that, dude? Apple just dropped. I think this is Apple. I mean, again, we're still up 275 or so on the day, so we're still nicely green, but man, I don't know what that was. What a weird candle. I think this was Apple, though. This has to be Apple's drop. Gray, haven't traded. All right, big pullback, though. Tesla's still bouncing back up a little bit. Mullen bouncing back up a little bit too. All right, guys, 5 minutes here. 5 minutes. I'm probably going to sit tight and just wait now. I don't know what to get here. SQ looks good. Yeah, SQ has had a big drop, no? So SQ is gapping up a little bit today. Yeah, so again, SQ gapping up today, but it's had a rough time since earnings, if I remember correctly. Yeah, SQ has dropped down from $80 a share down to 63. So Cash App, which is what SQ is, has had a rough time. Yeah, Apple drops. I'm looking at some news to see if we find anything here, but it could also be. All right, guys, 2.5 minutes. What's your favorite stock this morning and why? Let me know. Microsoft, Apple, Palantir, Square. Yeah, we'll see. NASDAQ's pulling back a little bit again. We got about 2 minutes left, a little bit less than that here. We're just sitting tight. We're up on the day, and so we're just kind of hanging out. Yeah, so if you click the spiral. All right, so we are bouncing up, but we are in a downward trend. There's Apple falling, though. So Apple's falling down now. 10 seconds or 5 seconds, guys. Here's the market opening up right now. 5 seconds. Here's the market open. Let's see if we get some good trades. There's ding, ding, ding. There's the opening bell. Market's open. Interesting volatile day currently. Tesla's still pretty volatile. Watching everything here. Look at Tesla rip. Look at the NASDAQ fly up at the opening bell, guys. Look at Apple fly up at the opening bell here. Huge green candles right now and everything. I don't know why everything's moving like this, but hey, Green is good. Look at that move right now, man. Wow. What a candle. Again, what a candle right now, man. Anybody know what is causing this move? What's spiking up like this? Is it Apple? It's not Apple. Apple basically retracing all the way back down, but what a volatile move. Again, I don't even know what to do with this. Exxon has been treating us really well, so like we've... Yeah, Exxon has been treating us well, man. What a volatile time. Getting some gains back on a lot of different things today, but man, Tesla, look at the NASDAQ just volatile. This is a very bearish looking sign. Again, this is a very bearish looking sign. I'm going to take 2 contracts here, short. There we go. All right, just took half off there. Just took another half. Just locked in a couple $100 profit. We're up about $450 on the day. Again, I thought that was a bearish looking sign, and it was, and we shorted it and made a couple hundred real quick at the opening bell. We got a nice little cushion on the day now from that. Still breaking down a lot. Look at that. I see PayPal launching their stablecoin. I did see that. Walgreens, we're still doing pretty green on. Watching everything else. See if we get a bounce back. That's a little bit too volatile for me to take it. Yeah, Apple down to 180s. See if it holds. This looks weak. I mean, the pattern looks weak, but I don't know what we're going to get on everything else. Yeah, this is my swings on the day here currently, guys. If you want to see my swing profits on the day again. We're currently up 167 on the day on our swings, diversified. Looking at everything else too. I'm going to short this. 1 contract. Wait, what? Ah, what the heck, man? I didn't want to freaking buy. Dude, oh, just a dumb mistake on my end, man. I didn't want to freaking buy that. I mean, luckily I just made it real quick right back, but dang, dude. All right, we're still up about $500 on the day. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to buy. I accidentally bought. I don't know how I did that, but man, my fault completely. I want to short this. Very volatile movement, though. I do want to short. Again, the goal is to make a couple. We've got a nice little cushion on the day. Oof, that's nasty. I got 2 contracts. Take a swing here. Let's get the flush. We tapped it. Let's get the breakdown here. Come on. There we go. Took half off. Took another piece off. See if we get the full breakdown here. Now we got a nice little cushion here, so if it turns on us, we'll still be green. What a move. Kind of like a deer in headlights right now. I mean, we wanted to give it time because we already have this big cushion on the day. But, yeah, it's worst case scenario. I want to give it time, though, because I think it could reverse, to be honest. But, man. All right, there's the reversal. Luckily, even though we lost on our big swing here, we're still flat on the day, which is nice. I do see a lot of stuff starting to bounce back up. So this is going to be good for my swings, just bad for my day trades. All right, so that should help us get back to potentially green on this one. 4 contracts, taking a swing. Let's get a breakdown. There we go. We took half off there just to protect the trade. Whew. Stressful trade, but nicely green on the rest now. We took another half off there. 1 contract left. I could probably be a little bit more loose with this now. I thought we might get a breakdown, so we had to take a little bit more risk. Beautiful breakdown here. All right, so we are now, yeah, we're up about 650 on the day now. Whew. Again, this is why we build up a cushion first, is because when we take risks like that, we got to be able to. Here, I'm going to short this. Let's get the breakdown. All right, we just made another. So, yeah, we're up about 7 on the day. I think this looks weak, but who knows what it's going to do. One contract. I just made another 100 or so. We're up about 8 on the day. Here's the graph if you want to see it. Technically, we're up 780. All right, so we're bouncing at the bottom of the range. We got 1 contract here. All right, just made another. All right, now we're up 850. All right, we're up 850. Let's see if we can get another couple hundred. All right, we got 2 contracts. Take half off there. I just made another 150. Yeah, we're up about 1,100 on the day now. Here's the graph. 3.5 to 1 win-loss ratio. We're green in stocks too. Not too shabby there. How you guys doing? Market's starting to turn. NASDAQ's starting to turn, mostly from Apple and Tesla starting to fall down. Downward trend, but I'm not going to short into a bounce because we're down so much already. We're going to switch accounts now since we built up cushion there. We'll switch to the next one here. All right. Still breaking down here in markets. Again, so we're in one contract here. Goal is to build up a cushion in this. So we want to build up a cushion first. So we're going to take smaller size to try to build that cushion up. Well, huge pump back up. All right, we're gonna take a swing here. We might get funded. This one we're already down in. We're in a discrepancy, or we're down already in this account. So ideally, I'd like to see a breakdown. But if we lose it, it's okay. I just took half off there. Protect the trade some there. Now I can take another half off there. All right, we're out. Yeah, so currently, and now in this account, we are up about 220s. 220s in this one. Got a little cushion now. Huge red action here. Again, we've mostly been shorting today. A little bit down too much for me to mess with this now. We're just down a little bit too much here. I gotta wait. Again, I gotta just position myself to wait. Again, if you want to take part in these challenges with me, we got funded on one earlier in the week. You can try to get funded. It's a funded program for futures. Just take in this challenge, build your skill, and in the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, currencies, gold, silver. No PDT restrictions, and Top Step is the most legit funded program in the world. They pay out millions, fund thousands a year. Again, you can check them out here if you want more. There is a wait list right now, so they should be resuming, I hope, within the next couple days, signups, but there is a wait list to get signed up right now, so understand that. Yeah, so we look like we're in a downward trend currently, guys. So we look like we're downtrending right now. If we think the market's going to continue in this downward trend, obviously we short it, but I don't know yet, to be honest here. Depends on what Apple and Tesla do here, and I'm not sure. Yeah, you can get funded in up to 3 accounts. I don't know if I like this trade, actually. I took this trade. I don't know if I like it. I'll give it time, but luckily we got a cushion already, so we're less worried about it. And we did get a breakdown. I'm going to go ahead and cut it because I just didn't like that trade. We're up 300 or so on the day now for this one. I thought it was a little extended, but we got a green trade. Again, in this one today, this is a separate one. We're in about 3-to-1 win-loss ratio. And again, the job is to build up a cushion. Now we have one. We have a $300 cushion on this account, so we can take larger risks if we really want to. All right, there's another breakdown in the NASDAQ here. All right, so we're still trying to bounce back up a little bit. All right, so we got a little pop up. Do we want to short this again? Maybe we could try. All right, just made another 100 or so, a little bit less than 100. We're up about 350 or 360 on the day now. I like this pattern though. Yeah, there's the trend breakdown. Tesla's still looking weak. So is Apple here. And this is kind of what we're continuing in that range or trend. This is Tesla and Apple's breakdowns. Yeah, I mean, the benefit of having multiple funded accounts is obvious, which is that like you can take more risks in one and keep another one less risk. It depends on what you want to do, but that's the whole point, is to take more risks. Yeah, markets are getting weak. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Happy Monday, guys. Tesla really dragging the market down. The question is, when does Tesla start to bounce back? We're under that big 350 level support, though. I mean, you know, the market's still green, KC, from today's or from yesterday or from Friday's close, right? SPY closed at 446. It's at 448.50 right now. So it's up about $2.50 a share on the SPY. So 0.5% or so gain on the day today specifically. So, I mean, I get it. People want to be right, but I think we're still pretty neutral today, at least. since the opening bell to really say what we're going to get. Maybe we break down. Apple and Amazon or Apple and Tesla are certainly breaking down today for sure. All right, here's the NASDAQ starting to pop back up. All right, SPY bouncing back up to 448.70s. NASDAQ bouncing back up a little bit also. Again, let's watch Tesla and Apple. Those are really the ones that are breaking down, kind of dragging everything down. All right, so we are bouncing up a little bit here, guys. All right, Tesla finally creeping back up some. NASDAQ bouncing back up, SPY bouncing back up a little bit. Again, SPY still green on the day. The previous closing price for the SPY is 446.80s. SPY at almost 449 right now, right under 449s. So today the SPY is actually up about $2 plus on the day. Just broke over 449s on the SPY. The NASDAQ starting to rebound too. It really is one of the reasons why, like, looking at the market where it's like, I think people want to be right, and I get it, but we're really kind of slightly green on the day. Friday was a red day, though. Yeah, the S&P's bouncing back. Again, SPY over 449. Tesla and Apple are really what you want to watch, though. They dipped this morning since the bell. And again, if you want some free stocks, open up an account on MooMoo and deposit at least $1,000 or deposit at least $100. You get 5 free stocks. Think of the percentage return on opening up an account with $100 and depositing at least $100 on MooMoo. You get at least 5 free stocks. You do over 1,000, you get 15 free stocks. You do over 5K and open up an account and deposit. That is, you get the previous 15 plus Google or Tesla share. So again, pretty useful. And again, great resources, zero commission. One of the great things about MooMoo is that it's open the entire pre-market session. So like MooMoo, you can build these different scanners. It's open the entire pre-market session, zero commission. Great economic calendar as well, where I can look at economics, north, big readings here. I can look at earnings, dividends, IPOs, all that good stuff. I can look at a heat map. I can build my own screener. I can look at different strategies. Again, zero commission stock and option trades. And again, you can get up to 15 free shares. Check out MooMoo. Here's the link. Yeah, so NVIDIA, Google, and Meta ripping up the market for sure. Meta green. Google green. Meta flying up. NVIDIA green. So markets are bouncing back. I don't trust the market really enough to do anything with this right now. You could short and look for just kind of a choppy trend. If you think we're going to get a reversal to the upside, you could buy, obviously. But yeah, AMD flooding the market up. Meta breaking highs as well. All-time highs on AMD are 160s. It's at 120, so it's still got a ways. Meta just ripped up over 316s. 330 is the all-time high for Meta, and it's helping the market on a red day for Tesla and Apple. It's pulling the market back up some. Starting to get some rebounds and everything. Again, do you guys think the market's going to go back green, or do you think it's going to continue red? Let me know. Yeah, we're pretty green today. I mean, we're up a lot. in a lot of different accounts as well. But I guess I wouldn't mind shorting this, but anything could happen here. I'll take one contract at the NASDAQ short, but I don't know if I really like it. Like, it's just one contract. See if we flush down. All right, we might, since we have a cushion on the day, we could add a little bit more to this up here. So there's two contracts here. Here's a flush. Took half off there, locked it in. We'll give the rest time to work. About 125. All right, so we just made another 130. So in this account now, we are up over 500 on the day too. We're at 530. Shorting mostly today. Yeah, Burke. Is Burke at all-time highs? Burke is ripping up, man. Wow. All right, so we are starting to flush breakdown now. Berkshire is breaking highs of the day, which is interesting. Watching Tesla. TSN did me right and it started to push up today. It's back up to 52s. Tesla's still flushing down some. Here, Burke is. What's PayPal doing? It's up there. All right, sorry. Talking to my wife here. Yeah, so NASDAQ starting to break down mostly from Tesla and Apple, which is mostly tech based. NASDAQ is more tech based. If we look at like the S&P here, for instance, S&P is looking more like a McDonald's sign. PayPal does look good. I don't know if I want to trade the NASDAQ here. Let me see. Looks like a breakdown now. Got very large breakdowns in the NASDAQ here. I scalped a little bit more, but See if the breakdowns continue. Mostly reversals on the market. Maybe we can short some more. Do you even use technical or just winging it? Bro, of course I'm using technicals. What do you think? Listen, in this account, just to put this in perspective, in one of my accounts, I have a 7-to-1 win-loss ratio. If just winging it is going to give me that 7-to-1 win-loss ratio, man, I must be the luckiest guy in the world. The other account that I have today, again, we are up. Here's the graph for this account. We got a 3.5-to-1 win-loss ratio. We are up about $1,100 in the second one. And so, yeah, if winging it gave me those good win-loss ratios, I just need to keep winging it, you know. I wish winging it gave me those win-loss ratios, man. I just wing it all day. All right, so we got a little bounce here. Again, we're just kind of sitting tight. We're probably going to close it down pretty soon. We've got really nice gains on the day already. And so we're probably just going to sit tight and sit on those wins. Again, we're up about, we're almost certainly going to get funded on a couple more of these accounts this month. NASDAQ's starting to bounce back a little bit. Let's see what happens. New candle open up. We're watching Meta here, watching a couple other ones. Again, the system I have is very simple for these funded accounts. I build up a cushion, and then once I have a cushion built, I take larger risks with that cushion, if that makes sense. So I build up a cushion of $100 to $200. Once I have that cushion of $100 to $200, then we increase our size to something a little bit more, take on a little bit more risk. If we add more profit with that larger size, then it depends. We can either sit on the gains that we've made, or we can take larger risks. And that's what I used to get funded. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. But that system seems to me works nicely on getting funded. Sure, you're going to lose some accounts doing that, but again, the goal is to get funded. Once you're funded, you have to trade completely differently, though. You can't trade the same way. So I mean, you guys understand that. We're consolidating here in the NASDAQ. We're watching everything else. But again, we're probably going to close it down. If you want to try to get funded, link is in the description. You can also get up to 15 or 16 free stocks on MooMoo if you open up an account and deposit. So get some free stocks, guys. Check it out. Great way to help support your boy here on the channel. I'm letting the consolidation happen. I mean, I see a downward trend, but who knows what we're going to get here. We're just trying to be patient as we can. See Meta and anything else bounces back here too. The trend looks bearish, but again, I think we've already dropped so much in everything that I got to just be a little careful, to be honest. You know, a lot of times, like, things lose steam on whichever direction they were heading after a certain point in time. And so trading smart and just trading careful is a big edge that you have in these. It's one of the best edges you could have in these markets. So you just got to be smart, trade small, trade slow if you need to, and just work on building up a cushion and then taking larger risks, and only taking larger risks when you have that cushion. The problem most people face is, like, they take big risks before they build up any type of profit or cushion on the day. And so what ultimately happens with them is they just end up losing a lot of their accounts right off the get-go because they're swinging heavy right off the gate, where it's like it's going to be much better to like build up a small cushion first and then gradually increase size once you have that cushion built. You know, if not, you're just going to run out of equity quick, you know. And it's always smart to like take it slow and steady first. All right, so it looks like the market's consolidating now, mostly flat here. Where do you guys think we're going now? All right, guys. Yeah, I'm probably going to close it down. I'm going to go ahead and close it down, guys. Not a bad day overall. Can you guess CPI right? Hey, I did guess it completely right for GPT or GDP. Sorry, not GPT. Chat GPT. But no, I did guess it exactly right for gross domestic product data that came out last week. I got it exactly right. The likelihood that I would accidentally get it exactly right is so low. And so, hey, props to me, man. I got that thing exactly right. I'll see you guys later. I'll be back later. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Again, market's kind of choppy today. Look at the sideways trend you got in the S&P. It's just not really looking the best. And so I'll see you guys later. Good luck. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys tomorrow.